Look how he was attired. He donned a tall, royal cap. He wore a dark ochre robe. He put on a belt of green jade from Blue Mountain. He trod a pair of empire-building carefree boots. His stunning looks surpassed anyone in court. With power to spare, he resumed his reign. What a great Tang emperor of justice and truth! The majestic Li who rose again from the dead. The Tang emperor went up to the treasure hall of the Golden Carriage and gathered together the two groups of civil and military officials who, after shouting, "Long live the emperor!" 3 times, stood in attention according to rank and file. Then they heard this loud announcement: "If there is any business, come forth and make your memorial. If there is no business, you are dismissed from court." From the east came the row of civil officials, and from the west came the row of military officials. They all went forward and prostrated themselves before the steps of white jade. "Your Majesty," they said, "may we inquire how you awoke from your slumber, which lasted so long?" "On that day, after we had received the letter from Wei Jing," said Taizong, "we felt that our soul had departed from these halls, having been invited by the imperial guardsmen to join a hunting party. As we were traveling, the men and horses both disappeared, whereupon my father, the former emperor, and my deceased brothers came to hassle us. We would not have been able to escape them had it not been for the arrival of someone in black cap and robe. This man happened to be the judge Cui Jiu, who managed to send my deceased brothers away. We handed Wei Zheng's letter over to him, and as he was reading it, some boys in blue came to lead us with flags and banners to the Hall of Darkness, where we were met by the 10 kings of the underworld. They told us of the Jing River Dragon, who accused us of having him slain after promising to save him. We in turn explained to them what happened, and they assured us that our case had been jointly reviewed by the 3 tribunes. Then they asked for the chronicles of life and death to examine what was to be our allotted age. Judge Cui presented his books, and King Yuma, after checking them, said that heaven had assigned us a portion of 33 years. Since we had ruled for only 13 years, we were entitled to 20 more years of living. So Grand Marshal Zhu and Judge Cui were ordered to send us back here. We took leave of the 10 kings and promised to thank them with gifts of melons and other fruits. After our departure from the Hall of Darkness, we encountered in the underworld all those who were treasonous to the state and disloyal to their parents, those who practiced neither virtue nor righteousness, those who squandered the 5 grains, those who cheated openly or in secret, those who indulged in unjust weights and measurements, in sum, the rapists, the thieves, the liars, the hypocrites, the wantons, the deviates, the connivers, and the lawbreakers. They were all suffering from various tortures by grinding, burning, pounding, sawing, frying, boiling, hanging, and skinning. There were tens of thousands of them, and we could not make an end of this ghastly sight. Thereafter we passed by the city of the dead, filled with the souls of brigands and bandits from all over the earth, who came to block our path. Fortunately, Judge Cui was willing to vouch for us, and we could then borrow a room full of gold and silver from Old Man Xiang of Henan to buy off the spirits before we could proceed once more. We finally parted after Judge Cui had repeatedly instructed us that when we returned to the world of light we were to celebrate a grand mass of land and water for the salvation of those orphan spirits. After leaving the 6-fold path of transmigration, Grand Marshal Zhu asked us to mount a horse so swift it seemed to be flying, and brought me to the bank of the Wei River. As we were enjoying the sight of 2 fishes playing in the water, he grabbed our legs and pushed us into the river. Only then did we come back to life. When the various ministers heard these words, they all praised and congratulated the emperor. A notice was also sent out to every town and district in the empire, and all the officials presented gratulatory memorials, which we shall mention no further. We shall now tell you about Taizong, who proclaimed a general amnesty for the prisoners in the empire. Moreover, he asked for an inventory of those convicted of capital crimes, and the judge from the Board of Justice submitted some 400 names of those awaiting death by beheading or hanging. Taizong granted them 1 year's leave to return to their families, so that they could settle their affairs and put their property in order before going to the marketplace to receive their just deserts. The prisoners all thanked him for such grace before departing. After issuing another edict for the care and welfare of orphans, Taizong also released some 3,000 court maidens and concubines from the palace and married them off to worthy military officers. From that time on, his reign was truly a virtuous one, to which we have a testimonial poem. Great is the virtue of the great Tang ruler. Surpassing sage kings, he makes his people prosper. 500 convicts may now leave the prison. 3,000 maidens find release from the palace. The empire's officials all wish him long life. The ministers at court all give him high praise. Such good heart, once stirred, the heavens should bless, and pass such weal to 17 generations. After releasing the court maidens and convicts, Taizong also issued another proclamation to be posted throughout the empire. The proclamation read, "The cosmos, though vast, is brightly surveyed by the sun and the moon. The world, though immense, approves not villains in heaven or on earth. If your intent is trickery, even this life will bring retribution. If your giving exceeds receiving, there's blessing not only in the life hereafter. 1,000 clever designs are not as living according to one's duties. 10,000 men of violence cannot compare with one frugal and content. If you're bent on good works and mercy, need you read the sutras with diligence. If you intend to harm others, even the learning of Buddha is vain." From that time on, there was not a single person in the empire who did not practice virtue. Meanwhile, another notice was posted asking for a volunteer to take the melons and other fruits to the region of darkness. At the same time, a roomful of gold and silver from the treasury was sent with the imperial Duke of Khotan, Hu Jingda, to the Kaifeng district of Henan so that the debt to Xiangliang could be repaid. After the notice had been posted for some days, a worthy came forth to volunteer his life for the mission. He was originally from Zhengzhou. His surname was Liu and his given name Chun, and he belonged to a family of great wealth. The reason he came forward was that his wife, Li Tilian, happened to have given a gold hairpin from her head, by way of alms, to a monk in front of their house. When Liu Chun chided her for her indiscretion in flaunting herself outside their home, Li became so upset that she promptly hanged herself, leaving behind her a pair of young children, who wept piteously day and night. Liu Chun was so filled with remorse by the sight of them that he was willing to leave life and property to take the melons to hell. He therefore took down the royal notice and came to see the Tang Emperor. The emperor ordered him to go to the lodge of the Golden Pavilion, where a pair of southern melons were put on his head, some money in his sleeve, and some medicine in his mouth. So Liu Chun died by taking poison. His soul, still bearing the fruits on his head, arrived at the gate of spirits. The demon guardian at the door shouted, "Who are you that you dare to come here?" "By the imperial command of the great Tang Emperor Taizong," said Liu Chun. "I came here especially to present melons and other fruits for the enjoyment of the 10 kings of the underworld." The demon guardian received him amiably and led him to the treasure hall of darkness. When he saw King Yama, he presented the melons, saying, "By order of the Tang Emperor, I came from afar to present these melons as a token of thanks for the gracious hospitality of the 10 kings." Highly pleased, King Yama said, "That Emperor Taizong is certainly a man of his word." He accepted the melons and proceeded to ask the messenger about his name and his home. "Your humble servant," said Liu Chun, "resided originally in Jinzhou. My surname is Liu, and my given name is Chun. Because my wife hanged herself, leaving no one to care for our children, I decided to leave home and children and sacrifice my life for the country by helping my emperor to take these melons here as a thank offering." When the 10 kings heard these words, they asked at once for Li, the wife of Liu Chun. She was brought in by the demon guardian, and wife and husband had a reunion before the Hall of Darkness. They conversed about what had happened and also thanked the 10 kings for this meeting. King Yama, moreover, examined the books of life and death and found that both husband and wife were supposed to live to a ripe old age. He quickly ordered the demon guardian to take them back to life, but the guardian said, "Since Li Zilian has been back in the world of darkness for many days, her body no longer exists. To whom should her soul attach herself?" "The emperor's sister, Li Yuying," said King Yama, "is destined to die very soon. Borrow her body right away so that this woman can return to life." The demon guardian obeyed the order and led Liu Chuan and his wife out of the region of darkness to return to life. We do not know how the two of them returned to life. Let's listen to the explanation in the next chapter.